Hey fam, it's your favorite life and relationship strategist, MarshaunO, and so you're thinking about walking away. You're thinking about leaving, never to return again, because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, specifically with your partner. So today I want to encourage you and just give you some things to think about, especially if you're not in a particularly horrible marriage and or a long-term relationship. Specific to the topic that I'm going to talk about today, and some of the points that I'm going to give are specifically to those people that are married. However, if you're in a long-term relationship, you can apply some of these as well. Just things to think about when you are ready to walk away, never to return, divorce, breakup, get the heck out of here, see ya, saw ya, wish I never met ya. You get the point. So specifically if you are married, one of the things that I want to bring to your attention is, especially if you are early on in the relationship, a lot of times when you're moving in together and you're just trying to figure out who one another is, you're really trying to get your rhythm together, you're trying to get your understanding together, you're really just trying to be a part and start sharing your space with one another. And so a lot of times you feel like this is all overwhelming. Add in a new baby and your whole world can feel like, what the hell did I get myself into? Why am I here? Why did I do this? This is too much. And lots of times our friends, our family, they mean well, but they do not prepare us for motherhood. They do not prepare us for parenthood. And they especially do not prepare us to be in marriages, especially early on. We have to deal with not being so selfish. We have to deal with literally including this new person into your world. Doesn't matter how long you guys were together. It doesn't matter even if you lived together prior to marriage. It is something that changes. It doesn't have to be a bad change, but it is something that changes once you say the words I do to one another. It's like the stakes have been raised and I'm really all in this marriage, this relationship. And so one of the things that I want to bring to you is that if you are teetering, should I stay, should I go, especially if it's early on in your marriage, 2/3 of marriages actually experience more bliss and are happier. They get better after that 5-year mark. Now obviously there are some people that don't experience this, but again, 2/3 of marriages, which is a pretty good percentage of marriages, actually experience after the 5-year mark a better marriage, a better relationship. And a lot of that is just they are getting used to one another. They know each other a lot better. They can be in each other's space. They're not taking what's the word I'm looking for? They're not taking offense to each and everything that their partner is doing, especially if they're minor things. Like you adjust. You have adjusted to your partner. You have adjusted to being married. You have adjusted to even being a parent by the 5-year mark. So if you guys, and again, I always say this because I don't want you to think that you need to stay. If you are in an abusive situation, just a situation where you feel like, oh my God, I'm not talking to you, I would rather that you went to get help and find some way to get out. But this is for people who are in marriages, and specifically there isn't too much that's going wrong. It's just really your communication sucks on both ends. That's who I'm speaking to. Your communication sucks. And you're feeling like, what the heck did I do? What the heck did I get myself into? Why am I here? I was doing better. My space, I didn't have to worry about sharing the bed. I didn't have to share my space, share the food. The house seems to be a lot dirtier. Like, those are the things that's running through your mind right now. So after 5 years, there is some adjustment period that has come in. You feel a lot better about things, which brings me to the second point, which is anytime you guys have a fight, an argument, just remember that you too can thrive after the argument or after the bad times have occurred. You will thrive afterwards. This will not end your marriage. This will not end your relationship. We think that anytime we get into some type of a spat, some type of an argument, like, is this the end? Like, is it over? Especially when you're married. It's like you have a deeper sense of, like, your nerves get a little bit heavier because, again, the stakes have now been raised and you're in a marriage. You're not in a situation that you just want to walk away from, because then there's that stigma. Now I'm a divorcee. The judgment that comes from it. What are others going to say is a lot more that you think about when you have said I do, and now you're teetering on the line. Should I stay? Should I go? You can thrive after your bad times, if you too decide that you will thrive after your bad times, because arguments, they're gonna come. Fights, they're gonna come. It's just a natural part of relationships, but they don't have to last as long, and you don't have to worry about, is this the end because we had this breakup? Is this the end because I needed to get this off my chest? That stuff starts to dissipate. Another thing that you can think about specifically to your relationship and your marriage is you too will have no choice but to grow up. You will have no choice but to grow up and grow as an individual, to grow as a human, to grow as a person, to grow individually, but also to grow together as a couple. Growth will happen in your marriage for sure. Sometimes you'll just notice that the things that you used to do before you got married, they're just not fun anymore to do. Or you look at them like, oh, that was stupid. Why was I doing that? It's something about you that triggers in you that says, you know what, this is a different ball game and I have to grow up. Maybe you don't blame everybody for the choices and the situations that you put yourself in. That's a form of growth. Now you're holding your tongue more. You feel like, you know what, we've been down this road before. He acts this way, she acts this way. I know that this is what they're going through right now. Growth happens. It is inevitable once you get married that growth in your relationship is certainly going to come. Another thing to think about is literally, sis, literally, bruh, you too can fall in love again. Again, it has to be a choice that you both are making to fall in love with one another, not to go outside to start spending more time and giving your energy to somebody else. It has to be a choice that you guys will fall in love once again after the bad times, after you get over the fight, after you guys adjust to one another, after you've gotten through that last spat. You too can fall back in love. It has to be a choice though. And you have to take action behind your choice, because that's the only way that things change. Action equals change if you're doing enough of the right actions. Okay, let me clarify that. Okay. Another thing to think about when you're teetering on the fence, should I stay, should I go? The person that you married is actually still in there. The person that you married is actually still in there. They might be a bit hidden right now for whatever reason, but that person is still in there. So cheer up. Try to figure out what made that person come out. And as a special tip, I have to say that most of the times we get sick and tired of dealing with our spouse, dealing with our partner, because we stop having fun. It now becomes a transactional relationship. Like, where do we got to take the kids? Specifically to doctor's appointments or their next game. What's your next outing? How are we going to pay the bills? Or we need some furniture. It becomes all transactional, and it's no fun in there, because you guys are taking life. You're taking your relationship. You're taking your marriage. You're taking everything so serious, because we have let life get in the way, and stress follows with life getting in the way. Whenever you're stressed out, you're not having a fun time. And if you're stressed out and you're not finding ways to release that stress, like exercising or swimming or going to play basketball, whatever it is that you do to get rid of your stress, if you stop doing that, there is no way that you're going to continue to have fun in your relationship, specifically with your spouse, because you're going to be too serious. Everything is going to make you antsy. Everything is going to tick you off. You're going to hate being in the house with your wife, with your husband, with your children. Everything is going to feel like it's crumbling around you. So get rid of that stress. But also remember, if you guys have fun, that person that you first fell in love with is still in there, and you'll begin to see that person start to break out of that miserable shell. That person that you fell in love with is still in there. Another thing that marriages do and long-term relationships do is they create emotions that wouldn't actually have been there or have been created had you not been in that relationship, had you not been in that marriage. The last thing, whenever we go through something we really feel like it's just the end, I could never love this person, I could never do, but you was doing it all before. And so the point is reversing whatever was going on or is going on in your relationship, specifically with your spouse. It's easier to turn it all around than you think. You have to decide. You have to declare what you want. Decide that you're going to do something about it. And then take action behind doing that very thing. Because as long as your spouse, as long as your partner is open to like seeking help or self-improvement, self-help books, coaching, there is a chance for your relationship to turn all around. This is the reversing that I'm referring to. Things are going bad, seek some help. Things are going bad, pick up a book and then actually do what the book says. Got to take action behind it. That is the whole way you're going to transform the way you're thinking about your relationship, the way you're thinking about your marriage. Your marriage, your life will only be transformed and look completely different a year from now if you decide, declare, and take action behind whatever it is that you're trying to change. In this case, you're like, I don't know. I'm thinking about going. But are you willing to do the work? Is your spouse willing to do the work? If you have not had a conversation about doing the work, have a conversation with your spouse. Ask them, is this something that we can save together? That person that I fell in love with, I feel like that person is still in there. Do you want to try to pull that person back out? Because I do. And if that is your decision, then seek some help. I'm here for you. If you're having trouble, if you have read the books, and now your next step is literally coaching with someone,